time.
They were multiplying by 11. This is a classic trick. It's super easy to remember, and you can quickly multiply any number by 11 mentally in your head. Here we go. So let's try a simple example. So if you have, let's say, 52 times 11. So the trick is you take the 5 and the 2 and you split them out. So this becomes 5 and 2, and then you simply add 5 plus 2, which is 7. And this is your answer. 52 times 11 equals 572. Now this always works with two-digit numbers. There is some caveats. If the numbers add up to more than 9, you do have to carry the 10. So let's look at some examples, and you will be a master of this in a few minutes. Okay, so you take 24 here, and you separate it, and then you add 2 plus 4, which is 6. And there's my answer, 264. Another straightforward one, 81, it's 8 and 1. You add them together, and that's 891. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit different because when you add 7 plus 6, you get 13, and this is obviously incorrect. So what you do is, and this should make some mathematical sense, you have 3 here, and then you carry that 1, and so this 7 here becomes an 8. And so your final answer is 836. And this is always the method you use if, when you add the two digits, it becomes greater than 10, or greater than 9. Okay, like in my previous videos, if you have decimals, ignore them and put them back at the end through estimation. So this is really just 87 times 11. So we're going to separate 8 and 7. And when we add 8 plus 7, it's 15. So 5, and then you carry the 1. This becomes 9. So my final answer here is 957, although I got to look at the decimals. So this is almost 9. 9 times 1 is just 9. So I know the only place the decimal makes sense is right here, 9.57. It can't be 95, it can't be 957, and it can't be 0.9. So this is my final answer. Okay, just like with decimals, on zeros to the right of the number, you ignore them, and at the end, you can estimate where they go, adjust accordingly. So you have 56 times 11. You separate 5 and 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. You carry that 1, so this right here becomes 616. And I'm going to write those digits up here. And now I can consider, does this make sense? Well, this right here is like close to 50%. It's close to 50% of 1100. Well, 50% of 1100 is like 550, so this makes sense, 616. This, the decimal is where it should be. So this is the final answer. So I just use estimation. Okay, just like before, I'm going to ignore the 0 at first and put it back later. So this is 9, 4, and 9 plus 4 is 13. And then when you add 1 plus 9, you get 10. So you could write 0 and carry the 1. You are writing 10 there. So this is the number that I got. I got 1,034. Now, this is clearly too low. Now, you could use estimation and think that if this number was 1,000, and 1,000 times 11 would be like 11,000, or you could realize you divided by 10 to make this 94, so I need to multiply by 10 to undo that. So I'm just going to add a 0 here. Either way you think about it, this number makes sense. 10,340. Okay, now we have a legit 3-digit number here. Guess what? This trick still works. So I'm going to space the numbers out. So 3, 4, and 2. And actually I'm going to space them a little bit differently. I'm just going to put the 3 and 2. What you do is you do 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then you do 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. And that is my final answer, 3,762. Just to show that again, I did 4 plus 2, that gave me 6. And then I did 3 plus 4, and that gave me 7. And these outside numbers are always the outside numbers of the number you started with. Okay, so this is the hardest possible example you could have because it's more than 2 digits, and the digits, when you add them, are going to be greater than 9. So I'm going to, like before, I'm going to put the 5 and the 4. So first I do 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13, so I put a 3, and I carry the 1, just like before. And next, I do 5 plus 9. 5 plus 9 is 14. If I add this 1, 15. So I do 5, carry the 1. And that makes this over here a 6. So my final answer here is 6,534. Now note, you can do this trick for any number of digits. I can have a 20-digit number, and you could do this process, and you would get the correct answer. Okay, try some on your own, check your work, challenge yourself. Math time.